Hi, it's Tom from Digital Foundry here. We thought we'd check out the difference between Star Wars Battlefront solo and co-op play, as seen on the Tatooine survival mission. Now this is the only map in the beta to let us play local co-op with a friend in split screen view, making it a unique stress test on PS4 and Xbox One. So here we have the PS4 version running this mode both ways. As you can see on the left, playing solo gets us a perfect 60 frames per second, while the co-op play on the right drops that rate to a capped 30 frames per second. Needless to say, this makes for a stark difference in motion. Two players tackling this mission at once makes this visual update notably less smooth. With two separate viewpoints, co-op play pushes the engine to a point where 60 frames per second just isn't possible, meaning DICE caps at half the frame rate. But what about Xbox One? Well, it's the same story here as well, and putting co-op play from both PS4 and Xbox One together, we see each sticking to that 30 frames per second line. But there's more going on here than just the frame rate. You'll notice our graph settles at a value of 30 FPS, but actually both games suffer from a frame pacing bug as well, causing the game to stutter notably in co-op. So what is frame pacing? Well, the best way to explain it is to look at the frame time graph to the left side. In a normal 30 FPS game, this would simply be a flat line all the way at 33.3 milliseconds. However, in Battlefront in co-op, frames are delivered in an unusual order. We still get 30 unique frames per second on average delivered to our screens here, but the catch is within that second these frames are scattered unevenly, meaning we get clusters of unique frames and then a group of duplicate frames causing stutter. This results in the spikes up and down on the frame time graph to the left, and also the strange trill effect to the larger frame rate graph's reading. It's an issue we also saw in Need for Speed Rivals a few years back, another Frostbite 3 game capped at 30 frames per second at launch, with a similar stuttering due to frame pacing. Needless to say, both PS4 and Xbox One suffer from this glitch, and with some tweaks from DICE via a patch, it could potentially be fixed. A capped 30 frames per second with correct frame pacing will feel much smoother than what we have here, and we hope it's addressed at some point. But putting that issue aside, how does the engine actually cope on these two consoles in co-op? Well, across the length of this test, Xbox One struggles to actually hold 30 FPS as consistently as PS4, with long stretches of play at 26 FPS noticed towards the end. Overall, the Frostbite 3 engine is really pushed to its limits with co-op in the Xbox One's beta. By running the game in split screen from a single console, we're nowhere close to the performance of single player on this map. And that's all for the moment. If you found this video useful, please give us a like or subscribe below, and until next time, thanks for watching.